Hello everybody, MLG Gaming here. Today, I got a video here that's a little bit different, or kind of completely different, but who cares. So I asked you guys if you want to see my own take of Sonic.EXE, and you guys said yes. So, the story would basically be a what-if take if X, which is Sonic.EXE's real name, would take the form of my user character rather than Sonic instead, and if the Minecraft roleplay me and my friends are working on was an in-universe Sonic spin-off game featuring art concepted by me and fully drawn by my cousin Super Gamer Gooby. The story has the same human characters and lore as the original 2011 story. Since it's already on the 2011X page on the Sonic Audios wiki, I won't be going into it for this video. But if you want to learn more about it, and if you don't know, just go on the wiki. And before the video starts, I will let you guys know that we will use screenshots from our Minecraft roleplay, as making art for literally everything will be difficult, and we don't even know if this video will do well. And I don't think it ruins anything, as I think we did a pretty good job with the structures, except from one of the structures. It's from the mod manager wanted. You'll know when you see it, but I mean we modified. Yeah, who cares? Whatever. It's just okay. Enough of me yapping. Let's get the video started. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey, my name is Tom. I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I've played most of his games and know most of the characters, though the game I've been missing out on is a spin-off based off another hedgehog with a look similar to Sonic's. The game is called MLG Chronicals. I have never had the chance to play it until now. One day during summer break, I was on my computer until I saw through my window that the mailman arrived and dropped mail into our mailbox. I went out to get it, and while looking through everything, I noticed a CD case with a note inside. At first, I thought it was for my dad, since he has a thing for computers, but something tempted me to look inside and read the note. Well, I haven't heard from him in over 2 weeks. I could tell from the handwriting, but something was wrong. It looked scrawny and rushed. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late, and I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Just please, Tom, don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Kyle. I was weirded out. There's no way this could possibly hurt someone. I wasn't sure if it was some kind of prank, but Kyle hasn't contacted me in over 2 weeks. I then looked at the disc itself, written in thick black marker on the top were the words MLG Chronicals.EXE. That was the game I had been looking into playing. From what I heard, it was really good too. To my excitement and curiosity, I decided to ignore Kyle's message and put the disc into my computer. I don't think I have to explain why that was a massive mistake. When the game finished installing, I booted it up and was immediately confused. It was the Sonic the Hedgehog 1 title screen, except with the main character replaced by MLGSuperSonicGamer, or Freddy, his nickname in the game. The title also read Freddy the Hedgehog instead of MLG Chronicles. I shrugged it off and pressed play, but for a split second, the image changed. Everything became rusted and darker. Freddy's eyes turned black like pupils. The kind of liquid ran down his cheek and he smiled unnaturally wide. I rubbed my eyes, unsure if I actually saw that. Maybe it was just a glitch. I brushed it off. The screen went black for a bit before going to the character select screen. It resembled the Sonic 3 select screen, but it was dark, moody. The background was filled with red clouds, and there were only 3 save files. They were Freddy's friends, Fry, Shreddit, and Gooby. I was confused. The title screen had Freddy, but he wasn't playable. Maybe he became playable later on? I don't know. I didn't know much about this game besides the character designs and some of their traits. Shreddit and Gooby were locked, so I selected Fry. The screen cut to black, and what took me by surprise was that a creepy laugh played. I didn't recall this game being a horror title. It's a Sonic spin-off. The level loaded, and the level title read, Home, Act 1. The music sounded off, like it was reversed. Fry seemed to be outside a house in the middle of a forest. I walked forward to the docks and sat in the boat. The game prompted the objective, visit your friends, with 2 beacon markers showing where to go. I crossed the lake and first visited Tread's house. I knocked on the door. I got no answer. I kept knocking. Still nothing. So I moved on to Gooby's house. I rang the doorbell, looked through the windows, but the house was empty. Then, another beacon appeared, this time on top of a mountain. Maybe that's where they were? I got on the boat and went to the mountain, started climbing. Everything was going fine until I saw a dead animal laying on the ground. Fry looked horrified. I pressed on and saw more dead animals scattered along the path on top of the mountain. It was a building. As I got closer, the screen cut to black, and when it turned, everything had changed. The grass was orange and dead. There were more dead animals, and even some of them were hanging from the trees. Fry was visibly horrified, and so was I. The building had a sign that read Fazbear Entertainment, with a cartoon bear with a top hat holding up. Next to the door, it read, Freddy the Hedgehog's home. Do not disturb. Why were there dead animals inside Freddy's home? And why did Freddy live in an abandoned facility? I had to know what was going on, so I entered. The walls were rotted, and Fry covered his nose as if the smell was unbearable. I entered the closest room. It looked like Freddy's bedroom, with a hammock in the middle. Then, I heard a noise. I walked out into the hall and saw Freddy standing at the end, with his back turned. Fry looked reassured, like he thought he was saved. I made him walk towards Freddy, but then his face suddenly changed. He looked scared, like he knew something was wrong. He started walking back on his own. I held the W key to push him forward. Static filled the screen, and as Fry got close, Freddy turned his head and opened his eyes, black with red pupils. The screen went black again, and a message appeared.
Hello, do you want to play with me?
I was creeped out, and then text appeared, hide and seek. It looked like chemical plants from Sonic 2, but burning. Fry appeared terrified. He looked at the screen and was begging me to go forward. He really wants to get out of there. And I listened. As I walked and looked around for a bit, Freddy's face appeared out of nowhere. He was twitching violently, and then text started appearing.
Here I come.
The Sonic Johnny theme started playing. I looked behind. Freddy was flying at Fry with a deranged grin. I tried running faster, but it was no use. Freddy caught up, just to suddenly disappear. Fry tripped and began crying inky tears. Out of nowhere, Freddy appeared right before him and put up his palm, which then lit on fire. The flame from his palm then shot out and ignited Fry. The screen got to black as Fry screamed. As I sat in the dark, a message appeared saying,
Oh, too slow. Want to try again?
I was scared. I may not know much about this game, but I knew Freddy would never do that. Not to Fry, who was basically his little bro. The selection screen returned. Fry's save file was locked. Now he was shown on the TV screen above the save file. His face was melted, barely recognizable, but you could still make out a distressed face. I picked Tread next. The screen cut to black again, and a laugh played. Level text appeared. You can't run. I was in the middle of nowhere, in what appeared to be a snowy forest. Tread looked unsettled, just like Fry had. I moved forward. The platform was better this time, so at least there's that. But after a while, static appeared. When it calmed down, blood was now smeared against the environment in the hole of snow. Fred looked more frightened, but I kept him moving. Then, Freddy appeared in front of me. The screen cut to black and said,
Found you.
We were now in the boss arena. I got excited. Maybe I could finally beat his ass. I tried Tread's many moves, but Freddy kept teleporting away, taunting me, even sticking out his tongue. I got angry and used Tread's ultimate, but Freddy just dodged it again. Tread fell to his knees, exhausted and distraught. I felt his pain. Freddy then appeared before Tread, kicked him right in the head, launching him back. Tread was just laying there, in pain, and then he appeared right before him. The screen cut to black, with Tread screaming in pain. After his screaming was done, text appeared saying,
So many souls, so little time. Wouldn't you agree?
The title screen came back. Tread's file was locked. His face was on the TV screen too. Glasses missing, jaw gone. His skull was extremely shattered. I shut off the game. I needed a break. I took a nap, but I wish I didn't. I had a nightmare. I heard Fry and Tread crying for help, blaming me for giving them up. Lights flickered in the dark hallway. At the end, I saw him. Every flicker brought him closer. Then, he was right in front of me. He looked real now. His eyes were void with red pupils. Blood ran down his muzzle. He grinned wide and said,
You're a lot of fun, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Too bad he didn't last. Won't be long before you join him.
I backed away. He shook his head.
You're in my world now, Tom. You can't run.
He grabbed me by the neck. His grin widened, and right then I woke up, sweating and crying. Was Kyle telling the truth? Was it never a prank? It felt too real. After hours of thinking, I turned the game back on. I had to know what was going on. I selected Gooby. The level title just said, ... Creepy. The game placed me in some kind of facility. There was a sign, said, Welcome to Gooby's facility. I went to what seemed like a control room. While looking at the buttons, alarms blared. Intruder detected. Intruder detected. Lockdown mode activated. Huge metal doors sealed every entry. I don't think I need to guess what the intruder is. Then, the large screen turned on. A red robotic cat appeared, asking Gooby what to do, but Gooby just stared, confused. The cat reassured him, promising to send the lucky bots to find the intruder. But then the power just suddenly went out. The doors didn't open. Thank God it wasn't like that bear game. I looked around the room for a bit, found a secret passage leading to a hallway with 3 rooms. They were living quarters. Not sure who they were for. It was a dead end though, so it didn't matter and I just returned. The control room door was now open. I went outside, and everything was wrecked. Broken walls, parts everywhere. Then I found the dismantled bodies of the lucky bots. Gooby looked terrified. Then I reached the end of the hall. Freddy was there. He looked annoyed. I tried moving Gooby back, but he wouldn't move. He was frozen in place. Tears welled in his eyes. Freddy just looked like he was spaced out, like he was frustrated for some reason. He opened his mouth unnaturally wide, larger than Gooby himself. There was a void inside. I couldn't look away, neither could Gooby. Static filled the room, then blackness. Large blood red text appeared. Game over. The selection screen returned. Gooby's fur was darkened, eye sockets empty, jaw unhinged. His chest opened. Whatever was inside was ripped out. I hoped the game was over, but then static appeared again. After a few seconds, Freddy's face appeared. First, it was pixelated, then became crystal clear. I could see every detail. Like, if I went to touch the screen, I would be able to feel his quills. He lifted his finger, bloodied, and started drawing on the screen. I
am God.
I couldn't look away. I wasn't sure if I was choosing to or if something was forcing me. Then, he punched the screen. It cracked. He kept punching. It started breaking. He was trying to get out. I was frozen, watching. I was struggling to break free. I was shaking. And out of sheer luck, I kicked the wall, pushing myself back. My chair tipped over and I fell. I could move again. I then turned around, and then the screen was off. He was gone, and the computer wouldn't turn back on. I dropped to my knees, horrified. I don't know what I just went through, but I knew that wasn't Freddy. It was something else, something evil. It tortures its victims, steals their souls, and plays with them for as long as he wants. I looked at my bed, and Freddy plush sat there. Blood slowly dripped from its eyes. I knew then I was next. No matter what I do, he'll be there, waiting to play with me forever. Well, that's the end of the story of Freddy.EXE or MLG SuperSonicGamer.EXE. I hope you guys liked it. I mean, it's not much to it. It's, like I said, just the original Sonic.EXE story just rehashed and just made a bit different. But it's a new thing I wanted to try, and I thought it would be cool, and I hope you guys also thought it was cool. Big thank you to my cousin Super Gamer Gooby for drawing all the art. It was hard. The video took some time. He had to draw all of it. Because of that, we had to use some Minecraft screenshots, and we took some reference from official art. For example, Excellent. I'm not sure who the artist is. I'm sorry, but credits to them. Gooby, as you can see, used reference, for that thing. it's because, you know, it was difficult. We had to, he was doing it all by himself. He had no help, and I'm not really good at drawing, so. But, you know, other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more, if this video does well, I hope it does. We worked hard on this. If it does, I will be perfectly fine with expanding the story and making it more original. It's a story, it's just a rehash. It's a parody, not a parody, but you know what I mean. I'll be willing to extend it to the Lord.EXE part. Even Lord.EXE, I'd actually do that differently than the canon version. But I do it, you know. So if you guys like, subscribe, comment, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.